Well, hello, my students. I'll try to make through this, but of course, someone gave me a cold. Oh, germs and their wonderful way of infecting the school. So, we are working on solving quadratic equations by factoring. Now, there are other ways to do it, and that's what's going to be coming up next after radicals and imaginary numbers. Now, we started going over the product rule of zero. The product rule zero says if you have two things or more than two things equal to zero, and it's a product, you set each factor of the product equal to zero. So to use this rule in the quadratic equations, we actually have two questions. One, do I have something equal to zero? And if I do, then the second question is, do I have a product? So if we were to have a pop quiz sometime soon, not today, don't worry, those would be two questions I would be asking. What are the two questions you ask to solve by factoring a quadratic equation? So if I have a problem, x times x plus 6 equals 0. You would say, do I have something equal to 0? Yes. Do I have a product? Yes. Do I have a Snicker in my hand? Yes. Oh, wait, that's not really part of this. But if you do have a product equal to 0, you set each factor to 0 and solve it. Now, this takes us back to, I believe it was August, maybe the start of September, solving linear equations. So you would subtract 6. Those are our two answers. Now, what's going to happen in the future is we're going to learn how to complete the square. We're going to learn how to use quadratic formula, which can always be used, but does take more time than factoring for some problems. So if you can factor within 20-30 seconds, that's the way to go. If not, use a different method. Now, we don't know the different methods right now, so you have to wait till we learn them. So let's look at another one. 3x plus 5 times 2x minus 1 equals 0. So I asked the first question, do I have something equal to 0? And you say, yes. Then you say, do I have a product? Well, whenever you have parentheses right next to each other, it indicates a product. So I set each factor of the product equal to 0. So 3x plus 5 equals 0, or 2x minus 1 equals 0. So I'm going to subtract 5, divide by 3, add 1, divide by 2. Now, I don't know why, but many students have more trouble with this than the harder problems I'm going to be showing you in the future videos. For some reason, they just cannot do those two problems. Now, what if I have this? X squared minus 16 equals 0. So you ask question 1, do I have something equal to 0? Yes. Do I have a product? No. So that's what factoring is. That's one of the reasons why we factor. Now, there's many more reasons why we factor, but that's one of them. So, factor it up. Factor it up. So I'd have x plus 4 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0. So x equals -4 or x equals 4. Now you can write this in a little shortcut method. X equals plus or minus 4, a new symbol plus or minus. I don't know if it's that big of a deal, but there it is. So let's say we have this one. X squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. So you would say, do I have something equal to 0? Yes. Do I have a product? No. So we have to get a product. And you get that by factoring. So this would be x minus 6, x plus 1. The factors is 6, it's subtracting it is 5, or 6 and 1. Largest one goes with the symbol. So you'd have x minus 6 equals 0, x plus 1 equals 0. So x equals 6 or x equals -1. Hey. Try 2 problems for me, please. Let's see. X squared minus x minus 12 equals 0. X cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x equals 0. Freeze the video, do those 2, and then turn me back on. Who gave me this cold? Okay. So here, got something equals 0. Don't have a product, so I'm going to factor it up. So x plus 4 equals 0. Or x, I'm sorry, that's x minus 4. Wrote it right and then copied it wrong. X plus 3 equals 0. So x equals 4, x equals -3. Did you get that right, my students? Good. Factor this up, x plus 3, x plus 2. So x equals 0, x plus 3 equals 0, x plus 2 equals 0. So it's 0, -2, -3. Hey. I hope you're having fun today. There will be a part 2 video. I'm not sure about part 3. We'll have to see it. But hey.